What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Survivor 47 pre-show. And this is not just any ordinary pre-show. This is the pre-show for the finale of Survivor 47. My name is Randy. I am joined by the lovely Ollie this evening. Super late once again for Ollie over in the UK, but we are here to chat all about Survivor 47, the season as a whole, the finale. We have so much planned for you guys tonight. And if you can't tell, I am excited. We are just a little under 2 hours away from the start of the finale. Tonight, we will crown a new Survivor champion. Ollie, I'm going to throw you a wrench right off the bat here. Just a little fun Survivor trivia, because there's a lot of historic stuff that could happen tonight. There are 3 women heading into this finale. One man in Sam. I know you're rooting for Sam. We'll get to that a little bit later. But there's a big chance that we could see another female winner tonight. That would be the 3rd female winner in a row behind Dee and Kinsey, who you both love. You love both of them.
Yes.
Both icons in their own way. So the question I'm getting at, this is a question I gave Matthew. He's in New York for Bryson One Present. He's going to be asking people these questions tonight. And the question I have for you is, when was the last time 3 women won?
One world. Oh, in a row. I thought it was going to be an all final 3. And I was like, one world. I know that much. Oh. Sorry, say the question again. I got cocky.
When were the last 3, or what were the last 3 seasons that 3 women won in a row?
Ooh.
By the way, while he's thinking about that, let us know in the comments in the chat if you guys know the answer. We do have our Ancient Voices live chat. You guys can jump in, interact with us throughout this entire podcast here. So yeah, just Ollie, do you have an answer?
My brain goes straight to Amazon Pearl Islands All Stars, but I don't know if that was the first one. I'm just going through.
I can tell you right now, that was the first one.
That was I knew that was the first one. I'm just trying to think of the latest one.
There's one more.
Oh, on the spot. I'm just going through the winners now.
I should have added the music.
Ooh. It's because it's the 30s. The 30s always my brain goes.
It is not the 30s.
It's not the 30s. Thank God for that then.
Should I just give you the answer?
No.
Should I give you time and we can loop back around?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the question. That's the question of the day for everybody. When was the last time that we had 3 winners in a row? But now we can get started on the actual finale podcast here. Ollie, while you're also...
No.
You got it?
Yeah. South Pacific, One World, Philippines.
Yes! Yes, Ollie! Yes! So
like,
for anyone who didn't know... Season 23 through 25, South Pacific won by Sophia, One World won by Kim, Philippines by Denise. That was the last time we had 3 female winners in a row. That could be broken tonight. This could be the latest if one of the 3 females we have in the finale can pull it off tonight. So we could see an all-female final 3. But like I said, we will get to all of that. We will talk about all of our finalists going into tonight. We'll touch base on what they need to do to win and all of that. But Ollie, how excited are you for this premiere? It's been an incredible season. We've been talking on all the recap shows about how, this could be up there for one of the best seasons of all time. I've been saying it's a top 10 season, regardless of who wins tonight. How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm feeling so excited. I think with how crazy and dynamic this season has been, I think it coming to end, obviously, any Survivor season, ending is sad because you're like, no, I don't want it to end. But it's really exciting because I feel like this is a very slightly actually unexpected Final 4. And I think, I said that, but I also think last season was a very unexpected Final 4. So I think I'm just excited to see how this all plays out because I feel like everyone really feels like it's going in one direction, but we've always seen in Survivor that anything can happen. So I'm just excited. Like we've still got an immunity challenge and fire, and we all know that anything can happen with those two challenges. Like we have seen someone, sorry, Jesse, who has dominated the game and then lost because they forgot that fire is an important part of the new era. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how this goes down.
Tomorrow morning. I feel so bad for you. I do. But we got in the chat. So excited for this. Go, Rachel. By the way, turn us on in the background of your watch party. Let us know how you guys are viewing it tonight, this evening, or if you have to wait tomorrow, how are you going to watch it? I couldn't agree more, Ollie. This could go so many directions. I think it was very interesting when they decided to split the season finale into 2 separate episodes, do a part 1, part 2. I think we found out Jeff Probst announced that was because CBS came out and said, hey, can you give us one more episode? And this was an easy fix for them. They could tell a little bit more of the story without compromising the structure of the show. And so they just split the content into an additional episode, which is what happened. CBS was like, we need one more episode. So they just said, okay, we'll include a little bit more footage, make it a 2-parter. So last week, obviously, we saw the big eliminations of Andy and Genevieve, 2 of the biggest players this season. And now we're left with this final 4 of Teeny, Sue, Sam, and Rachel, which I think is a very intriguing final 4. Like you said, it's not the final 4 we expected. I think I texted someone the other day that said, preseason, if you looked at the entire cast, I think the only people on the radar to maybe make it deep in the game would be Sam and Teeny. Teeny came in with a lot of hype. Teeny came in for sure with a lot of hype. Sam, some people were high on Sam. I don't think anyone really saw Sue or Rachel making it this deep into the game. So I think we're set up for an exciting end. And something that's been baffling for me is a lot of people, Ollie, have been really quick to write anyone not named Rachel or Sam off of this season. There's been some, the best of the fan community has been coming out over one of the players. We'll get to that here in a couple minutes. But have you been shocked at this too? Like everyone's like, if it's not Sam or Rachel, awful ending.
No, because we do have, we all know off. Call it out. I don't care. There is a side of the community that is toxic decides that their opinion is the right opinion. And unfortunately, they just have to realize that they are not God's gift to earth. And that's the nicest way I'm going to say that. But yeah, no, I'm not surprised because we see it every season. We saw it last season when Kenzie won. And I definitely didn't fight with people on Twitter. But yeah, it's always going to happen because they have a particular person. There will be this group of fans that just absolutely love this person, and it's like nothing, they can do nothing wrong. And unfortunately, like, not to dismiss Rachel's game in the slightest. Rachel has played an amazing game, but it's like, yeah, there have been a certain group.
In the loudest game for sure.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you have those people that think that, a loud game is the only game. And it's like, no. And we can literally clock both of the two obviously English-speaking seasons this season in 46 and Titans versus Rebels. The 2 people that won those seasons, when you look at their games, both of them played very subtle games. So...
yeah, I mean, it's not always, you brought up Jesse earlier. It's not always the loudest player that's going to end up winning the season. I like to go back to Shannon Ricard for season 41. Omar, season 42. Although Marianne, to an extent, was a loud player. But it's not always the edit's favorite player who goes on to win the game. And I think more people just have to realize, look, it's extremely difficult to make it to the end of the game. If you make it to the end and you can convince a jury of the people who played with you to give you $1 million, then you deserve to win. And it took me some time to agree with that. I always use this example. When Michelle Fitzgerald won, I was irate. I was a younger kid in high school, I believe, at the time. And exactly, she won. And I was like, what? She's a ghost. She doesn't deserve this win. Went back, rewatched the season, looked a little bit more into it. Michelle Fitzgerald is my favorite female player of all time. That's how quickly it can change because I had a new understanding of it. You know, you hear, especially talking to castaways and stuff, as we've been lucky to do, you get a whole new perspective and a whole new side of what happens off camera that they don't show on screen and stuff like that. So I'm just telling everyone tonight, whoever goes on to win, be friendly online. That's the one time we'll say it this pre-show. Be friendly. I mean, this is a very, very difficult game. One of the hardest games in the world. It's not easy to even make it to the end. So if you're there and you can convince the group to vote for you, you deserve it. Let's show some of these comments here. Yeah, it's back in the chat. I feel like all of them are deserving of winning. Sue with her sliding through the game, Sam and Rachel with their underdog story, and Teeny the great switchback. Also, a question here to Ollie and Randy. Would you guys ever apply to be on Survivor? We both have. to
clarify, not the US version because I can't, or the Australian version, the UK.
Yeah, he applied for the UK version. So we got to get UK back on the screen. Well, we're going to take, we've got a lot of content for you guys. Stay with us. Grab a snack. Grab something to drink. Like I said, turn us on in the background of your watch party. Get us off your phone and onto the TV, and let's interact, have fun, hyping up the Survivor 47 finale that's just starting in about an hour and a half. But first, we're going to take a quick ad break to hear a message from our friends on Bracketology.
Think you're the most knowledgeable Survivor superfan? Well, you can put that to the test with our Fantasy Survivor game. Welcome to Bracketology, fantasy sports for reality TV. We provide fantasy football style games for your favorite shows like Survivor and many more. We also have bracket style elimination challenges. Set your picks once for the whole season to see how your prediction skills fared. And don't forget to check out the season extras like contestant info, where you can see all the bios of each contestant, and our scoring recaps that are published each episode. Download the Bracketology mobile app or play on your computer at fantasy.bracketology.tv. It's entirely free to play, and you can win some awesome prizes. Good luck.
What's up, everyone? It's Ollie, and I am back for the finale of Season 47 Bracketology Fantasy Outlook. We have made it to the Final Four, and it is all to play for this final round. Tonight, not only will we figure out who will win Survivor 47, but we will also see who will win the Bracketology draft. So I know that there are a couple of you that are here to play it. So let's see who wins this tonight. Instead of doing my normal must pick, player to avoid and wildcard, I'm going to give you two people that I think are going to be your best options. That may be the must pick, that might be the wildcard. It's up to you how you think. So my first pick is going to be Rachel. I think Rachel consistently over this post-match has given us a lot of points. And I think she has proven that she can win immunities and she can play her way to the end. So I think if you want to maybe have some points, she could be someone to put on there. Also, my other pick is going to be Sam. I don't know, there's just something in the air. I think we're all seeing that there's something that Sam could do. So whether that's win fire, whether that's win immunity, whether that's win the game, that will rack up some points. I think at this point, any one of those four could win. So I think it's going to be determining on who you think will win and who you think is going to get those points. So good luck.
I forgot to add us back. I was doing something. You were like, Randy. There's a lot that happened on that break. I burnt my mouth on the tea because, like, one thing with hot tea is I want to drink it, but it's so hot. So I burnt my mouth on that. I got on X to see what you guys are saying on X and everything. So just got a little busy. Ollie, how hard was it to choose? You only had 4 players to choose from for Bracketology. And how many do you choose? Is it one or two players that you get to choose 2? So you said Rachel and Sam were the 2 you've gone with?
Yeah, for me, I've gone with Rachel and Sam this week just because I feel like they've got the best win equity. And I don't know, just something is telling me that both of them will make it. I feel like we're going to have this showdown between Rachel and Sam. I don't know. But that was kind of the guess that I had. But that's like, with only 4 players left, like anything can happen. So it's kind of the only real thing I can say to the fans is trust your gut, because I actually looked at the leaderboard for Bracketology, and I believe between first and second place is literally I want to say 6 points. Like, there is not that much in it.
So this is on me. I was supposed to make a graphic for this to show you guys where everyone is at on Bracketology, but I can go ahead and pull it up. So we had, once again, some incredible prizes for Bracketology this season, where if you win, you would get a custom cameo, a custom pop figure from Todd Herzog. You get a Katie Tedesco art prize pack, which I have right here ready to ship out. And let's see. Son of a Bits is in first place with 1,426 points. And then if you go 8 points back, you have Nihilus Neal, 4 points back from that, Zach Bowman. And then you have the sad cowboy emoji and Josh Green, our own Josh, in 5th place. So Survivor Fact Checker down there in 8th. So yes, there's still plenty of points to be gained. If you're in that competition, don't forget to check your fantasy teams going into tonight. You could still win these incredible prizes. West is in the chat. If they both make it and Sam wins over Rachel, then I'll be pissed, to be honest.
Oh, no.
See, a lot of people are feeling this way. We're going to get to both Sam and Rachel, but I did tell you guys we have some incredible kind of different games and stuff to do tonight on this pre-show. I say games because I forgot. Segments. That's the word I was looking for. It took me a minute to get there. And I told you we are going to look at all 4 of our remaining castaways and talk about what they can do tonight to win the $1 million. And we're going to start with Teeny. And I said we were going to talk about this. Teeny has had a lot of unfriendly stuff online. I'll say that. Teeny is definitely not the fan favorite heading into tonight's episode. But Ollie and I are here to kind of walk you through why Teeny deserves to be here, what Teeny can do to maybe win. Potentially, Teeny has a chance to shock people tonight. There is that chance. I mean, Teeny's sitting in the Final Four. They're going to have that chance. So, Ollie, I'll go to you as we speak about Teeny. What does Teeny need to do tonight? And what has Teeny done this game that warrants them winning the $1 million?
Yeah, so I think Teeny's, arguably played a really strong social game. Like, and I know they said it at the start, like, their key is going to be their social game. They are going to be, like, relying heavily on it. And I think they did, and they were able to adapt and, get to where they needed to go. Yes, were there times that it was flipping more so than maneuvering, possibly, but they were still able to make it to the end regardless. Like, and actually, when you think about it, one of the key things that they have going for them is they only ever had 1 vote cast against them the entire game, and it was just a throwaway vote, just probably so that they wouldn't go to the end with no votes cast against them, because they were never really a target. No one ever threw out their name as a target. I think with Teeny, what I think they will need to do is, if they get to the final tribal council, I do think there needs to be some, I'm going to use the word accountability just because I can't think of the other word, but in the sense of they definitely played an emotional game. And I think it's taking into account that they played an emotional game and, not trying to shy away from that, but also trying to explain to the jury how their emotional game benefited them. And I said this during the rites of passage. That's where I feel like there is going to be this struggle, because I do think that their emotions did get the best of them at times. But if they're able to showcase it in a positive way, then that could really sway them with the jury. I mean, you have people like Soul on there that, are always going to root for them. I've seen on social media that Sierra has been really shining a light on Teeny. There's been a few people there that have kind of like really loved Teeny. Genevieve, even Genevieve has even though her and Teeny were at odds, there's always been this mutual respect. So I think that could benefit Teeny, really.
I agree with everything you say. I think for a lot of people, they look at Teeny as someone who's just floated throughout the entire game. Look, there's been plenty of people in Survivor history that going into the finale, I'm like, no shot. They have no chance to win this. I'll throw out a name of a person I've met. Very nice guy, very sweet. Jonathan. Yes, all of you. Jonathan from Survivor. 43. If he made the finale, 42, excuse me. If he made the finale, which he didn't because Mike beat him at fire, if I remember correctly. But going into the finale, I said, if Jonathan makes it, he's not going to get any votes. Like, I don't think he has any chance. I'm not going into the finale tonight thinking Teeny has zero chance to win this. Teeny is a likable player, like you said, Ollie, with everyone like praising them on social media. I think the hate has been a little over the top from people. Look, you can say Teeny has not done much. I'm not going to argue with that. But there's a polite way to say it and be like, I just don't think Teeny has the resume to win this game. That's the right way to say it. It's not to go bashing a player just for playing the game. Teeny has friends on the jury. It's a weird situation that Teeny is in, because I'm going to say this with a player later on. I think there is a player that needs to win fire. I don't think Teeny needs to win fire. And I know that might make no sense, but if Teeny goes to the end and pitches a good case, I think Teeny could have enough friends on the jury where they're just like, look, this would be a wonderful story. Teeny would, has really fought this game. There's probably stuff that have happened out of the edit that we have not seen that we can't really appreciate about Teeny's game. So am I saying Teeny is the favorite tonight? Absolutely not. I think Teeny's going in with the biggest odds against them, but I could see it. I could see Teeny winning this game.
We've seen people before have literally the worst odds and they win. So
let's get to some of these chats here. Wes says, not really pissed, but just saying Rachel over anyone. Then my second pick is Teeny. So a little Teeny love here. I love that. Jay's in the chat. Ayo asked, is this running till 7:30? This is running till about 7:45, 7:50. So we will take you right up to the premiere or the finale. My bad. Sincere. Hey guys, my favorite. Jay adds in, yeah, Teeny and Sierra are close. Let's show a couple more here. Jay says, by the way, my bold prediction for tonight is that Final Tribal will be a tie with Gabe, Sierra, Genevieve, and Andy voting Sam, and everyone else voting Rachel, with Teeny breaking the tie. That would be incredible. Amy is also in the chat. Rachel deserves to win, but I hope Sam wins. So we're going to get to them later. Teeny, though, does Teeny need to win fire, in your opinion, Ollie? Like what? No? Yes? How are we feeling about that?
If no, I do think there is a world where they're able to explain and capitalize on their social game, being like, hey, I had such a social game that these people didn't even they didn't feel like I needed to make fire, which proves that not only was I able to minimize my threat level, but I was able to, have that power where every other person, they didn't want to send me to fire. They wanted me in the final three with them, which, yes, it can look as a goat, but actually also I managed to get there. And I had everyone else wanting me there. Everyone else had other agendas that were not me.
Is there anyone on the jury that we think are favorites to vote Teeny, say that Teeny makes the final three? Like, I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
I would say that I was actually going to say Saul. I was going to say that maybe the one that if Teeny did start having a really good Final Tribal Council performance, I think one of the first people that would kind of go to bat for them and be in their corner is Saul.
I could definitely see that. So we have to wait and see what happens with Teeny tonight. We're just about an hour and a half away from starting their journey in the finale. Next up, let's talk about Sue. Sue's another player. Now, this is a player that a lot of people I've seen more than I thought would be like, hey, I think Sue could end up winning this game. Like, I've seen a lot of people acknowledge that this is a possibility. Sue, 59 years old. This is something that would be historic tonight. If Sue goes on to win, she will become the oldest winner of all time, beating Bob Crowley back in season 17 of Survivor Gabon, who won at the age of 57. So there is some history on the line for Sue tonight. Sue is the player I was referring to. I think Sue has to win fire. I don't know if she has enough friends on the jury, like kind of Teeny does, to just get the, hey, I like you. I'm bitter against these other players. I'll give you my vote. I think Sue is battling some bitterness of her own. I think she has to win fire, and she has to knock Sam or Rachel out of fire, preferably Rachel, to have a chance. But if the path forward is that for Sue, let's say, I'll throw something out there. Sam wins immunity. We've seen all season Sam's like, I can't win immunity. I can't win when it counts. Sam wins immunity and takes Teeny. If it's Sue against Rachel and Sue knocks Rachel out of fire and your final three is Teeny, Sam, and Sue, I think Sue can win. I think Sue can win if that's the path forward for her. What do you think, Ollie?
Yeah, I definitely think Sue has a chance. Before we get to Sue, I just want to, from Sincere.
Was this for Teeny?
Yeah, Teeny's bag burning was too much of a clue not to make fire.
I think Teeny, I forgot to mention that. I do think Teeny's losing fire tonight. That's my prediction. That was also a fan poll that we posted on X that we'll get to later. I can see it.
Yeah, but okay, on to Sue. Yeah, I was definitely one of those people that for most of the season, I was like, I was willing Sue on. Like, I feel like it was this thing of, I could see the potential in Sue because we saw it pre-season. And then unfortunately it was just, and I think what really went her way was Gabe going, because she was then able to play her game. And even like Caroline going, like, we were able to then see Sue. And I agree. I think Sue has a chance to win. I definitely think if it is her, Sam, and Teeny, she most likely has people like Caroline, Rachel, Gabe in her corner, because all three of them can talk about Sue's loyalty and say, you want to talk about loyalty? She's the only one right now that showcased her loyalty. And I actually will say, I think if Teeny and Sue are both at a final tribal council together, I actually think Sue being at the final tribal council hurts Teeny more.
That's good.
Because if Teeny tries to justify anything loyalty, you have got the loyalty girl right here. You've got the girl that's like, no, you want to talk about loyalty? That was me. So I think that's where I can kind of see, especially in this late game, where her loyalty has able to benefit her. I agree. I do think she may need to make fire. I think there will just need to be something else just to give her something. But I could see a world where Sue wins, and I now wouldn't be mad at it, especially because she is now going to be, showcasing her line of cosmetics.
Yeah, definitely. That's incredible. Her cosmetic line. I love how you brought up. This is the next point that I was going to make. She's got two people in the jury who very well could be 2 votes right away. And in this game, you need essentially 4 or 5 votes to win, 5 votes to lock it up if it's a split. But 2 votes, that is very valuable in this game. And you have Gabe and Caroline, who she never turned against, if I remember correctly. She hasn't burned those bridges, and that is her Tuku group. So if there's 2 votes right there for Sue right off the bat, then you're looking at some wild cards. Like, who knows who Andy is going to vote for? Who knows who Soul is going to vote for? You have these wild cards that might be enough if you persuade them in that final tribal council to win you the game. I think what I worry about Sue is if she wins tonight, is this Gabler all over again? Because Gabler got so much hate for winning. And there's some other stuff too. I'll agree with that. But you don't think it would be a Gabler 2.0 if Sue surprises the casual viewing audience tonight?
No, because Sue played a better game than Gabler.
Oh!
I said what I said. No, I do. No, I truly do. Because I think, yes, she had a rivalry. Yes, she couldn't get over one person. We all know if Sue's in the end, Carl's not voting for her, we're all not going to be shocked. But I do think there is things that Sue can say, like none of the cast know yet that she's 59. Everyone still thinks she's this 45 person.
46, yeah.
Yeah.
Or 45,
yeah, she has the red pennant idol that she's then able to showcase, like, yeah, if you wanted to make sure that your secrets were safe, tell me, because I never told anyone about my idol. Everyone else told information. I had the most information. You all thought I was 45. Guess what? I was 59 and I was keeping up with all of you. That will get a lot of respect and praise from the jury. So I think if she's I think she already knows. She is a wise woman. She knows what she's going to need to say. So no, I really don't think it would be like Gabler. I think that's actually diminishing her game a lot more than it's doing it. Yeah.
Woo. I don't know. I think I'd take Gabler. I think Gabler played a better game. I think he played a more social game than Sue did. Disagree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ollie's like, we're gonna get down, like going down the rabbit hole here. Sincere has been in the chat talking about this. I can see justification for her winning, and let's be honest, the jury vote makes sense because she has allies on the jury she's been loyal to. I feel like the red paint thing, she fumbled her words though. That gives me the vibes that she would fumble the final tribal council speech. That is one of the fears that I have with Sue. Can she deliver a well put together final tribal council speech against? It's going to have to be against either Rachel or Sam. Both of them. You know, Sam is a reporter. Rachel is just very, very well spoken. Yeah. And to beat them, you are going to have to propose your game, propose the game you played in a better way than they proposed their game. It's also about like who's cutthroat enough. I mean, like, I feel like sometimes at tribal council, someone loses because they're not willing. I'm not saying you should just throw someone under the bus on purpose, but like, yeah, you should be honest about your game, and you should have that fire to be like, this is why I deserve it over them. This is why. And does Sue have that fire? I think she does. I mean, she said like all season long, she spent so much time being like, I hate Kyle. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. Like, I feel like she should have no problem.
Trust me, if they say to them, like, screw the other two, she'll be like, yeah, okay. No problem. I also like, just quickly, I like Sincere's comment here that Sue is the only person not to volunteer the info about her idol. And actually, because he mentions Caroline clocked her, and that's the only reason she's like spilled stuff. But also, Caroline never told anyone. So you can add on top of that, this person figured out that I had the idol, but I had so much loyalty from them that they chose not to tell anyone. Whereas everyone else spilled the beans through me. So, like, it's one of those, like, she can even say, like, I showed loyalty and I got loyalty back, and I was able to have people not knowing my information.
We didn't even talk about when we were speaking about Teeny, about, like, if you need information out there, tell Teeny. Oh, that's not going to be looking good for Teeny when we get to that final tribal council. I'm telling you. No, so we're going to get to the other two people a little bit later on in the show. I know you guys want to hear us talk about Sam and Rachel. That segment is coming up. But next up, I got another fun segment that I've set up to talk about this season as a whole. Ollie, didn't know this. I don't think Ollie expected this. The best of. In this segment, we are going to be talking about some of the best moments, players, etc., from this season. We're going to get in a heated debate. We want to hear you guys in the chat. Let us know your answers for each one of these questions. We also have people in the chat right now. Jay says the episode title for the finale is The Last Stand.
Yeah, because that was for Sincere, and also Sincere, just to let you know, not every winner has had the finale episode title because Kenzie didn't have it last season. It was Charlie.
Charlie had it? Ooh. Is that the one outlier for the new era so far?
I'm not sure. I need to go back and look at all the other ones. But I just know off the top of my head.
Someone fact check that. So I've got a bunch of slides here to go through for the best of. Ollie, let's start off with the first one here. The best player.
John Lovett.
What'd you say?
John Lovett. Sorry, continue. Giving him his screen time.
The best player, and yes, I know this is a little premature. We still have an entire episode to go. Rachel could do something to put her over the top. Some people already say that Rachel is the best player. I think, and Rachel, right? Is this the same Rachel? It can't be. Rachel the GOAT. It can't be.
Oh,
that would be insane. I'm going to say Genevieve. my bias is going to come out. I think that's been the debate this season, who's played a better game between Rachel and Genevieve, and people are going to make the argument that no, Rachel is the better player because she got Genevieve out of the game. Point blank, she's the better player. I don't know if that's how I would look at it because personally, I think in all-around game, Genevieve played a stronger game socially, strategically. I think Rachel has come on of late, kind of in this late or latter half of the merge, to be playing a phenomenal game. And don't get me wrong, I think Rachel is the second best player this season. But in terms of who I think is the best, who played the most well-rounded game, I think it's Genevieve. And in the end, she got voted off because she could not beat Rachel at immunity. That's my take. Let's hear what Ollie has to say, and we'll get to some of these comments here.
I agree. I agree with that comment, Genevieve or Rachel. I'm really unsure at the moment. I think both of them had these really good games. I can understand your point about Genevieve was able to play a more all-round game, but I would also kind of say Rachel did too. I feel like there was very much similarities in the game where they didn't want to come out of the gate swinging and they kind of waited for their moment. I would kind of contrast and say, I think the two things that both of them have going against their games was Genevieve did make a move slightly too early and it put her on the back seat. And as Rachel did have a fair bit of luck in her game. I think Rachel had more luck than Genevieve. So that's where I'm kind of leaning. Do I give it to Genevieve because technically maybe Rachel had a bit more luck, or
Rachel was better at challenges?
Yeah, exactly. Rachel was better at challenges. She was arguably potentially a bit more social because she was in the knowledge of quite a lot of votes. It's a toss-up at the moment. I'm still not sure.
Well, let's get to some of these comments as you think on that. Sincere said Genevieve. That's the correct answer, Randy. Giro is in the chat, or Gyro, whichever one. Genevieve or Rachel, you showed that. Sincere adds in whoever wins. Also, if Rachel wins, does that push her over the edge of okay, she was the best player this season? Jay says, I will say Genevieve. Giro says Genevieve kind of blew up her game midway, but still made it to the final five.
Yeah.
Jay adds in, Rachel was on the bottom of her pre-merge tribe and the beginning of the post-merge, while Genevieve was in a good position for a longer period of time. So I agree with Randy. And then Rachel adds in, this is where the new era fails the players. If they get an upper hand from the gimmicks, it's diminished as luck. Wish they would just let the players play without the gimmicks. I mean, I agree. Let the players play without the gimmicks.
Yeah.
I would argue her going on the journey and winning that advantage was not luck.
No.
That was earned. Soul giving the advantage to Rachel when she was going home. She was going to be the one to go home that episode, that tribal council. Think of that. Genevieve would still be in the game. Rachel would have been out when Tiana went out. Maybe would have been, and especially at that time with the edit that we got from Rachel might have been a pretty forgettable player. Tiana has been forgotten by a lot of people, and she went out at that tribal council. So, I think there's some aspects that were luck, and it wasn't the game. I mean, you could argue it was the game causing luck because they gave Soul that advantage. So, okay, I take that back. That was luck, but I do think some of the stuff that Rachel's had, you can say the auction was luck, but that has always been a part of Survivor, getting an advantage at the auction or something. It was lucky she put a bid in for the right item, but sometimes in this game, and I think a lot of times people are like, oh, this player's lucky. Oh, that player's just lucky. Luck is a part of the game. The Survivor gods shine their light on some people and also screw other people over. That's why we have swap screwed. It's just sometimes luck is a major part of this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, luck is I say unfortunately, but I don't mean it unfortunately. Luck is a part of the game because I think if you sit there and you say, I got to the end with no luck whatsoever, it was all on me. How does that sound? It sounds arrogant.
Yeah.
And you've heard people, Russell Hance, say it before, and you've seen how it goes with a jury. It's like, I will always stand and die on this hill that every person that has won, there has been some element of luck. Even if it is even if it's this littlest bit of luck, there is still that luck.
Even Kim Spradlin?
Yeah.
No,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no. So Ollie, have you decided, or are you just it's gotta be Rachel or Genevieve?
It's one of them.
Yep. I'm going Genevieve. I know a lot of people in the chat also going Genevieve. Sincere says here, Genevieve is also very graceful and mature. She gives me opposite a bitter jury. Lastly, for her to analyze siding with Rome would give her the best shield ever was to me the best strategy. It definitely helped her out pre-merge. I'm a very big fan of her aligning with Rome. And then Jay says, Kim got lucky by playing with a bad strategic cast. Yeah, Kim got lucky with playing with some of the dumbest guys ever to play the game.
I'm glad you said guys there. Glad you said
guys. All right, next up. This is a hard one because for me, my memory is dog water. The best challenge from this season. And I made these questions and I almost didn't include this one because I was like, I don't think I can think of a challenge. Like, seriously, the best. I got one. I got one. Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah. I've got mine.
The initial marooning challenge where we are running back through the woods was really cool to see. Also, Phil, popping in while still at work. Phil, my man. Love you, brother. Thank you. Love you, man. Everyone catch Phil and Ollie and Matthew on Got Something For You on Saturday. I believe they might have there's a possibility they have a special guest.
There's a potential guest.
There's a potential, but we can't say anything. It's not verified yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the first one that comes to mind. I know there's some other challenge out there that I'm going to be like, ooh, that was a good one. There's been a lot of stamina challenges this season, but that first marooning challenge was really good. I would say that one or the journey challenge that Rachel went on with the balls. That was exciting.
That's
it was
a good one. Yeah.
It was like a saw trap. It's like, okay, timer starts. Yeah. You've got this time or your hopes and dreams are out.
Yeah. I mean, I am such a water baby, so I love any water challenge. I'm going to go with the immunity challenge in the third episode, where I know people no longer like this big, jumping off the thing. I love it. I don't mind it. But I just also like anything water related. So as soon as you said Bash Challenge, that was the first one that came to my mind. So that's the one I'm going to go with. But I will say I am liking the look of this Final Four immunity challenge.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I haven't watched any of the promos. What does it look like?
It looks like it's very obstacle. It's different challenges. You run through a net crawl, and then all I know is the little thing. There's a rope you've got to manage. So yeah, there's probably a puzzle at the end.
Puzzle at the end, yeah.
Possibly, I don't know, but I know it's something, a gauntlet of some kind.
Sincere adds in, this season they are pretty unrememberable. I'd say the Rachel journey as well. Jiro says, I was just about to say the journey challenge. It was goofy. I loved it. Jay adds in, I would say the final 7 immunity challenge with the ball maze and then balancing blocks while walking through a different obstacle course that Rachel won was pretty good. That's a good shout out.
That is.
So like I said, there wasn't any I will agree there wasn't any terrific challenges this year. I love seeing the auction back. We got to wait until 49 to get that back again because they said they're doing it once a rotation. It might not be 49. They might wait till 50.
Yeah,
because you had 47 and 48. Correct me if I'm wrong. Film at the same time, so 48 won't have it, and then you have 49 and 50. Ooh, this is a good shot. I enjoyed the reverse Jenga.
I did like that as well because I did also enjoy that because it's you're working together, but also you're trying to make sure someone else screws up. That was fun. Fun.
I totally forgot about that.
Odd West.
Sincere adds in, they need to balance the physical with more social challenges. We need the challenge where they ask, who does the majority think is running the show? Like that one calls people out. I missed that challenge.
Touchy subject.
So much. Should we do another round of touchy subjects?
Yes.
Can you think of more questions?
Yes. I already have 10 other questions. I feel like everyone that doesn't know, we did do touchy subjects on our Patreon, so you really should go check out that video because it was a lot of fun.
I think you should host again, but I think what we should do, and this will be a Patreon exclusive, go ahead, join our Patreon. Link is in the description below. I want to get 6 Survivor players and do a touch. What if we did like a touchy subjects with Kirby, Ferris, Raymond,
Eileen,
Valeria. Why am I forgetting
Garrick?
Garrick. Yes. What if we do that? Mama Duke is here as well. I agree about the Journey Challenge. Yeah. Welcome to the stream. Ollie, we got to do it. Before Australia, we got to do it. Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to.
Next best
and
question.
Kelly.
Yes.
And Kelly.
Yes. The best vote off.
Ooh.
There's been some great ones this season.
Yeah, because I feel like what I've enjoyed this season is it's given like Kelly from 45 where it's like, what the hell? Like authentic, like
yes.
Like, because at the end of the day, I know I'd be like that. I will admit, yes. I was also going to say either Keyshawn or Arnica because Arnica's vote off, like her reaction was just chef's kiss, iconic.
Oh, I mean, I'm a little biased towards Sierra. I feel like Sierra's was really good because that was a good, like, she was shocked. She was absolutely shocked. I'm trying to think of all the ones that have kind of been bitter this season. Annika's is a classic. I'm going to throw a wild card in there. John Lovitz was good because of the community. The community was shocked that it was not Andy. Like, that was a really good one.
Yeah.
Who else was bitter? Was Soul bitter a little bit? No?
No, Asia.
Asia was bitter. Asia was pissed.
Yeah.
I would probably
Tiana.
agree. It's got to be Annika's.
Yeah.
Let's see. What about Genevieve? Lives in my brain. I rewatched episode 4 the most of any episode.
Oh, that
ever.
montage.
Wait. Who said that?
Keyshawn.
Keyshawn said, what about?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So Keyshawn, Annika, Caroline to me are the top 3. Sierra.
Yeah.
Oh, because you had the Operation Italy. Sierra is good too. Andy is good. Asia is even good to me because of her last chance plea. Oh, Mama Duke adds in the journey. Oh, this was about the challenge. In the Journey Challenge, I also think very few players would have been successful like Rachel was, and you don't hear anyone saying that. I wouldn't have been successful. Promise you that right now.
I think I would have done fairly well.
You think you could have? I just suck
I think
at
I could have done that.
I'm so bad.
Do you remember last season's one where it's the titles? It was the
yes.
I know I would have crushed that.
The seasons in order.
Yeah.
I would have got to like the 30s, and that's where I would have lost it. I would have had the first like 20 easily. I've got those on lockdown. I got to get back to rewatching the old seasons. I'm currently on Russell's first season for the first time. Samoa, yes. I'm like 2 episodes in. I got to get back to that. I haven't watched it in like 2 months though, so I need to just restart it and get back into the story.
Off season.
The best betrayals. And this could be the same thing. This could be a tribal council. This could be just someone like flipping. Like the first thing that comes to mind for me is okay, I was about to say that, but then I thought about another one. Like this is going to be a popular answer. Andy's going to be a very popular answer. This is a small one. I think Sierra flipping against the girls early on and going with Sam and Andy was really interesting. I think that was a good one. I think it was interesting. It created intrigue for the pre-merge. I like that one. What other ones are you thinking of?
Yeah, the thing is, I just want to say with Andy, I feel like the only one that we can class as a betrayal, I feel like would be the Sierra vote off because they had been working together.
Which was a great one. Yes, yeah. You wouldn't count Operation Italy as like a betrayal. That's just like a voting block thing.
No, that was a voting block. Yeah, that wasn't a betrayal. I would say the top 3 are Andy betraying Sierra betraying Arnica, and Genevieve betraying Keyshawn. Those would be the top 3 because I think those had some really good reactions. Or even Tuku going after Tiana.
I mean, yeah, the Tuku having to eat
Yeah.
each other alive was a good one. I'm really trying to think like if there's any more that I
Yes, sincere. Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Andy throwing John Lovett under the bus.
Yeah.
Did Jeff betray anyone this season? Was there a moment where Jeff's like, you thought? Trying to think.
No, he just didn't have as much food this time.
He did pull out the knife at some point. Wasn't that this season like pre-merge he like pulled it out and like I thought.
Oh no, the best betrayal was production ratting out Rachel with her rice.
Yes. That's the answer we were looking for. Just let her have right. Okay, well maybe that answers our next question. The best Jeff-ism, the best Jeff Probst moment this season. Was it the rice or was it something that he said that was like there's been so many times that he has like hyped up food that is not that, like chicken salad or something like that.
I mean, that's just him trying to hype up the sanctuary, which we will never do. I'm not sure. No, I'm really not sure on this one. Because I feel like all of the things.
Tiramisu.
When he was like, when it was the last reward, the steak reward, and he's like, something about the steaks, and he was looking at everyone to be like, and everyone was like, "Oh, okay, we got it. Well done, Jeff. Well done."
My continued Jeff-ism is there's two of them. He does it every time a season happens. He goes, "It's the you think you can complete this puzzle? Subscribe to Survivor."
Yes,
yes.
The constant apply for Survivor. I'm like, have you not got enough applicants, Jeffrey? Because I see a lot of people saying they've applied.
I was going to say, stop making the competition harder. And for the auction where he's like, okay, Genevieve, if you're going to lose your vote now, if that's the last play, this is
not the last.
Not the last.
Okay, yeah, I can get behind that one.
Oh, my God. I think Genevieve constantly betraying Teeny, no specific reason because it was graduating betrayals all season.
That's fair.
Let's see. I think we got a few more of these. I made a lot of them. We got one more, the last one of this best of game. The best guest that Survivor Now has had this season. How are you going to choose one?
I know.
No, I got to go to my YouTube. This is a niche one.
I mean, got something for you. I mean, I always have to send love to Josh Wilder because I love it when Josh.
He's like a yearly thing now.
Yeah, always episode 4 as well. It's the last 2 times he is always coming on episode 4. So Josh, if you watch this, if you're watching, absolutely love you. So that will be my pick.
I want to take a special moment to thank everyone who's came on this season. I'm just going to go through them really fast. We got Josh Elliott Pickell, actor who came on Survivor Social. We have Timmy Bridgman, who came on from Bryson Wynn Presents.
Shannon
yep, I was just about to say Shannon, who started this season with Sparker Snuff. We had Sifu, Forgot Something For Ya. We had Ferris from Australia back on Survivor Social episode 3. I'm going through here. We had Josh Wilder, like you said. We had Kendra from season 45 come on. We had Jake once again come on. Jake came on twice this season. We had Tiffany Seeley from Survivor 41. Franny was back on from 44. Todd Herzog always makes an appearance on the show. We had author Christine Riccio, I think is how you say her last name. Yep. She came on. We had Asher from TikTok. Stinky Asher, I think is what he says. Hold on, I'm almost done. We had Brian Corden again from Survivor Guatemala. We had Quinn Martin from Big Brother. We had Carson from season 44 come on Stockwatch. We had Jim from Survivor 46. I'm almost done. Like a lot of great names. We had the Wicked Unscripted podcast team come on just last week. Emily Little was here. We have had a bunch of guests. I think my personal favorite, I think it's insane. There's 2 of them, Shannon and Carson. I think it's insane that we got them on. So, but we have some very incredible guests potentially coming up this week, including someone from The Circle on a very special episode of Survivor Social. So make sure follow us on Instagram, Survivor Now Podcasts, and check out our website and to stay up to date with all of that. Mama Duke adds in Carson. And who do you guys want to see come on the show from this season, potentially next year? We're going to have to wait and see. But we are going to take, wait, what'd you say?
Keyshawn, because that's no, John Lovett.
John Lovett. The podcasting worlds need to align, and we need to have John Lovett on.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I mean, let me just say, so far, we've talked about 2 of the finalists. We've done the best of segment. We still have, Ollie, I hope you're not getting tired.
No.
We are an hour away from the finale of Survivor 47. Jiro adds in, bring in Rome. Rome will be on the show. I promise you. Rome will be here. We love Rome. But we are going to take our final break. And when we come back, we will look ahead to the remaining 2 finalists tonight and talk about what they have to do to win the game. We will be right back.
Really in the middle of making a hit TV show.
Last season, 10 of reality television's greatest villains came together under one roof and made television history. So obviously, we had to do it again.
You might know me from The Rehearsals in New Jersey,
Bad Girls Club,
Big Brother, original Survivor winner, RuPaul's Drag Race.
Same house.
Welcome to the murder house.
Same awful host. Oh, hi! And brand new iconic villains.
Welcome to House of Villains Season 2. Oh my God!
Ding Dong, the bitch is back, and I'm gonna run this mother.
Holy crap, I would watch this show.
We're losing our freaking mind.
You have an evil laugh.
I'm a f***ing villain, bitch.
Oh, damn, we're all typecast. There is no such thing as the House of Heroes. That's lame.
You were gonna come into the House of Villains? This is my mother house.
They think I'm delicate like a little flower, but no, bitch, I'm a bomb.
Look at the money we're spending on these explosions.
What's your name?
You don't know who I am?
This is my classroom, so you better follow my rules.
Or else.
Y'all disgust me. I don't give a about any of you.
I'm gonna ride you until you tell me the truth.
Ride me then.
Your Prince Albert couldn't take it, but I'm still gonna give it a try.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but
Once again, they're here to outsmart,
I have a little cock in here.
outmanipulate,
Now I know why they got rid of you season 1.
and out-camera time each other.
Welcome to New York, New Jersey. Kiss my ass.
Poke the bear. You're not gonna like who you see.
Whoever is able to make it to the end will win $200,000 and the title of America's greatest supervillain.
I am the supervillain!
I am a certified genius that you let into this house. When you take a shot at the king, you better not miss.
We need a medic!
Don't you understand? I am the villain.
He hasn't been the mastermind. Back now!
I'm so scared. Oh. Yo, that's my
House of Villains, the total hit show returns October 9th on E! And stream from the beginning on Peacock.
this should be House of Cuckoo Beans, not House of Villains.
The finale for House of Villains on E! It's tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, so make sure to check that out. Once again, that has it. Have you been watching all it?
I've been watching. It's been a good season. Of course, the villain of the podcast has been watching the villain show. Come on, now.
I should have watched. Once again, that was the last time we're going to show that ad because it ends tomorrow night. We want to thank E! for sending us the promo stuff and everything. That was such a cool experience to get to work alongside with them. So Jay says, damn, that looks like a lot.
Oh, it's been a lot.
House of Villains is my guilty pleasure. Hello, Amy. So make sure to check that out tomorrow night. Once again, thank you so much, E! for sending us the promo stuff and everything and wanting to work with us. It's insane how this podcast has grown over the years. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, Ollie, it's time. We got to talk about the 2 favorites. We're going to start with Rachel. Icy Dude is here. Perfect timing. Welcome to the stream, Icy Dude. Sam for the win. We're going to get to Sam. We're going to start with Rachel. Rachel is the fan favorite. Spoiler for later when we show the polls. going into the episode. Everyone is saying Rachel has this in the bag. I've texted a few of my friends who they're not like diehard Survivor fans. They're very much casual fans. Watch it on Wednesday. Forget about it any other time. A few of them are just new to Survivor overall. And they think Rachel's winning tonight. There's no one else who can win. Yeah. It's going to be Rachel. Point blank, period. Book it. Also, Kira's in the chat. So glad I found your channel. Such fun. Thank you. Love that. Thank you. For anyone new, hit that like, subscribe button. We'll do that at the end as well. But yes, Ollie, what are we thinking about Rachel? What does she need to do tonight? Does she just have to make it to the final 3? Does she have this in the bag? Like, tell us what Rachel needs to do.
Honestly, I mean, I do agree. I think Rachel has played such a strong game. And I think the funny part is, we as a podcast, she was the she was the last person physically picked. Because it was actually between her and John. So, Abe, screw you for not letting me have her. But I think Rachel has played an incredible game. We really didn't see it at the pre-merge. She was someone that was just biding her time, letting the thing happen. And then merge came. And I think it was this thing of, as soon as she saw her game potentially going during that kind of final 12 vote, I think it just switched in her head. She's like, okay, I really do have to get this thing going. And I think she stepped up in such an amazing way. She has got an amazing story. I think she has shown the jury, so many incredible moves. And I think she has a really strong chance. Now, like we said, there is still fire. There is still the immunity challenge. There is a chance that Rachel won't make the end. Will some fans be sad? Yes. Will they need to get over it? Yes. If that
what do you always say? Build a bridge and get over it.
Build a bridge and get over it. If that happens. But I think Rachel, we've said this, she is on par to be one of the best player this season. And I think that is very retrospective of her game. She wasn't afraid halfway through. She was not afraid to play for herself and make sure that she was in the best position. And I loved seeing that. I loved that growth as a player. And yeah, I definitely think she has the chops to win. Will I be happy if she wins? Yes. Will I be sad if she wins? Yes. But instead of feeling like she was robbed, I am just going to send her love and, regardless of the outcome, tell her how amazing a game she played.
Yeah. Rachel is, I mean, there's a reason she's in the position of the favorite, essentially. Like, she has played a great game. Earlier when we were talking about who's going to win between, or who's the better player between Genevieve and Rachel, there's a reason that we said, you know, Rachel, if she wins, she locks that up. But there's an argument she has been the best player this season. So, going into the finale, I think there's a couple ways this could play out. And I'm interested to see if you agree with this, Ollie. Rachel wins fire. I think it's locked. That's when I think it's locked. I'm not going in and say, like, if it's just Rachel versus Sam, neither one of them won fire at the finale, I think it could be a split vote. We talked about this on the Rites of Passage episode that we did. Sam's got his people who are probably going to vote for him. Rachel has her people that would probably vote for her. It could be an even split tonight. Man, how exciting that would be.
Be the second one.
Also said in like a preview for the episode that Final Tribal Council is a real problem. I'm going to say that to hype it up regardless of whether it is or not. But let's say it is. I could see this being a big battle between Rachel and Sam. I really could. Rachel is the favorite heading into tonight.
Yeah.
But I don't think Rachel's going to win. And we're going to get the last guy and we're going to talk about him. But the edit has just been so strongly on Rachel and it almost feels too obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, because we've seen it so many times where the edit shows that there is this one person that is clearly dominating and is clearly going to win and something happens. Jesse, Chrissy from Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers. Like, there are so many people that look as if they are going to have the win in the bag, and then they don't. So I think people just need to remember that even though it's the final, like, even though it is the final four, anything can still happen. Any one of those 4 can still win. It is not a lock for anyone.
Do we think Rachel has any locks on the jury to vote for her, say she makes it to the end? Like if Sam goes to the jury, is that a lock for Rachel? Like I wouldn't think so, but like that's what you got to start looking at going into the finale. Who's sitting on the jury that could possibly be a vote for Rachel? Like I think if Sue goes over there, I think Sue might be a vote that Rachel would get. Like also, who does Rachel want to sit at the end with? It's got to her next target has to be Sam, you would think. And if it's not Sam, there's something we're not seeing between Sue and Teenie.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think with Rachel, it actually depends on who she's sitting there with. Jay's kind of was about to say my point, Caroline. I think Caroline could be a lot for Rachel. It would just depend if Sue is sitting there with her. Potentially that could be a toss up there. I agree. I think Gabe could be a vote for Rachel. I think Gabe could honestly be a vote for Rachel. I actually think I think Rachel has played such a strong, visible game, but you look at the relationships that you kind of know the other 3 have, and it's that struggle of kind of pointing where can people go. And I think Kira's kind of just said it there. Andy would vote for Rachel, but only if she's not next to Sam.
Yeah.
And I think, again, it's that thing of people are saying like, oh, this person could vote for Rachel if this person isn't in the final 3. And I think that's where I'm free. I could easily see, even if, say, the final 3 is Rachel, Teenie, or whoever, I could actually see probably Soul being a very big vote for her. I could see Soul.
That's a good, yeah.
Even if Teenie's there, and I know I said that I feel like Soul could be a lot for Teenie, I also think he could be a lot for Rachel.
Jiro adds in the chat, Genevieve has been a reliable narrator. If she says Rachel wins at the end, then she wins. Whether or not that means she sweeps, wins 7-1-0, 6-2-0, etc., it'll make sense. I mean, you could also say that we can't forget when Rachel and Genevieve were talking and they were like, if one of us don't win, who's going to win? And the name they brought up, not to make this a quick transition and quickly move on from Rachel, because I enjoy talking about Rachel. This is who they said. Genevieve and Rachel said, if we don't win, who would win? Probably Sam.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Let me go back and see if I can find these.
I was going to say, there was loads.
First off, Jay, I did add a goal in the chat. If you guys didn't know, if you want your chats to show up immediately, we do have super chats turned on for you guys. Jay, appreciate the love and support. Colby says, I think Sam will win. Kira adds in, Sam could win, in my opinion. He has more friends voted out. And I'm sure there's been some other chats along the way of people saying Sam is probably going to win. Sam for the win. Thank you, Sam, for the win. Do you have others, Ollie?
Just looking at now. There was a few.
At the beginning. I know at the beginning of the show, I should have starred them. A lot of people were on Sam. Ollie, this is something that we pitched during the Rites of Passage. I mean, you've been the person who's been on Sam from the get-go. He's your winner pick, correct?
Yes, he is indeed. So I'm almost 2 for 2. We never know.
A little biased. Look, I mean, we've kind of said it. The edit has been in the favor of Rachel, but it is not out of the question that Sam could come in and win this, and it would not be stealing it. Jury management is a part of Survivor, whether you like it or not. Sometimes the more popular player wins. And I'm not saying Sam doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying the mayor of Ponderosa, who has, in the history of Survivor, has been the key to some crucial final tribal councils and who the jury kind of lean towards. Because when you're the mayor of Ponderosa, you get everybody's story coming out of the game. You kind of navigate the conversation back at Ponderosa. You know, this is what I'm seeing. This is who I think should win. That's part of the game, being the mayor of Ponderosa.
Yeah.
And the mayor of Ponderosa is Sam. What we can assume, or who we can assume, is Sam's biggest cheerleader and his number one ally in Sierra. You could say that Andy might vote Sam. Kyle, who is, Kyle could very well vote Sam. Like, he's got friends on the jury who could very well vote for him.
Yeah, and I feel like Sam as well, like, he's had this very personable energy with him. He's a reporter. He knows how to show his kind of more chilled human side quite naturally. And again, yeah, he was my winner pick. He's been on my draft. He's been my final draft member for quite a while. But I think there's also been some things that people haven't really realized, which Sam has also mentioned on Twitter, or X, sorry. I will say props to Sam for being one of the very active people on social media. Rachel has as well. Teeny has as well. But I think Icy Dude said it. Sam has been on the right side of the votes the entire season. Every time he voted at Tribal, right? 8 out of 8. But yeah, I think he does have some friends in the jury. You know, he has had an underdog story in arguably the more dominant part of the game, which is the post-merge. I think this is where I feel like when we look at technically, but he also didn't vote. That's why he's voted correctly each time. The 2 times that his allies got voted out in Andy and Sierra, he never technically voted. To this point, I've always been biased towards Sam.
Always biased.
That's not new.
I was biased towards Genevieve. We're always going to be biased towards our favorite players, but we will give props. Like, if you're just now joining the show, go back and hear what we have to say about Teeny and Sue. We're always going to give players their props, but yeah, there's always going to be some bias in there for like our favorite players.
I was going to say, it took me a while to get onto the Sue train, and I'm now there going, I can see a Sue win. But yes, with Sam, I think if he does get to the end, he does have a strong case. I think the fact that he's been an underdog in this sort of post-merge era, and then he's got people on his side already, people like Sierra, Andy, Genevieve, who could warm to him, even Kyle, because actually when you look at it, when Kyle went, there was a group of 5 that wanted to isolate him. Who was the one person that's currently still in the game that didn't? Sam. So I think there is still this avenue where, you know, Sam could do well. I do think if Sam and Rachel are in the final 2, it's going to be a battle. Because I do think, like I said, Rachel has had a superb game. One of the strongest games this season. Yeah. So just to show that I wasn't biased between just Sam. I think that, you know, Sam and Rachel could easily battle it out at this final tribal. I think both of them have a really good story. I think just right now, Rachel has the very much forefront story, whereas Sam has kind of been here. But as soon as final tribal comes, it gets here straight away. So it will be to play for if they both get to the end.
We got a few comments here. Michael, I see your comment. Teeny, 100%. I see you're a Teeny fan heading in. Icy says to Jay, he didn't vote for the Sierra boot because he lost his vote at the auction. Exactly. Rachel should win and will win. You got to look past the edge at times. I don't know if it's a lock. Kira adds in, Sam has fire over Rachel. Like if Sam, what we said with Rachel, if Rachel wins fire, also have to show this, Mr. Pokey Guy. Thank you for the love and support. Really, really appreciate that. Like I said, we'll show all those messages right away. Anyways, if Rachel wins fire, she locks up the game. If she's in there with Sue and Teeny, the game is done. She could sweep the jury. She really could. And I forgot to say that if Rachel does that tonight, she would only be the second player ever to play a no-hitter. This term was invented by the lovely Tegwith, Survivor Simulation on TikTok. What a no-hitter is, it's basically a perfect game, but you did receive votes that were negated by an idol. So, for example, Jeremy Collins, when he won in Cambodia Second Chance, he did receive votes, which takes away the perfect game, but they were negated by an idol, and then he went on to sweep the jury. That's as close to a perfect game as you can get, and obviously there's only been 2 perfect games ever in Cochran and JT. So Rachel could be the second ever person to do that. The votes she's received this season, she negated if she goes on the sweep the jury. So, which she could easily sweep the jury if she wins fire and she's sitting next to Teenie and Sue. I don't think they have enough firepower at that point. Same could be said with Sam. If Sam wins fire and not, especially if he knocks Rachel out, if Sam knocks Rachel out in fire, this season is over. Sam will win. He will probably sweep. The only chance that Sue and Teenie have is they need one of Sam and Rachel out, and they need the other person to not be the reason they're out of the game.
Yeah.
Like Teenie or Sue need to be the reason that either Sam or Rachel is out, and preferably Rachel. Like you need to make that move against Rachel. Let's see. Survivor Nerd adds in, I still think Rachel wins because they didn't show the secret scene with Sam and Genevieve. And Kyler says that's a really awesome analogy. I absolutely love it. Tegwith is incredible for that. So yeah, I mean, we're going with Sam tonight, right, Ollie? I mean, it just feels like Survivor wants to shock us a little bit.
Yeah. And the thing is, I do think if Sam does end up winning tonight, I think there will be a strong reason as to why. I think Sam is one of those players, he was someone that people thought could go far. And then he was always kind of preseason. It was like, oh, there's something about him. I think he's going to do really well. And then as the season progressed, everyone kind of pinned him as this final 8 boot. It's in the stars. And then he went past 8. And now we're in a situation where if you took a step back and looked at Sam's journey and looked at Sam's game, you can kind of see the points that, will give him the edge if he is in the final tribal and potentially wins. Again, we don't know what's going to happen. Any one of them could win it. But yeah, considering he was my winner pick at the start and he's my final draft person, I do have to root for Sam. Sorry.
This is a hot take. Rachel sweeps the jury if she's against Sam.
Ooh.
That means Rachel would have to get Sierra's vote and Andy's vote. And sometimes you're just going to vote for your friends. Like if Ollie and I play on the same season and Ollie's sitting at the end and I'm on the jury bench, I might just vote for Ollie because Ollie and I just connect so well. Like I might. Yeah.
I wouldn't think you.
Ollie would not vote for me. There's no way. He would vote against me just because he knows me. He'd be like,
just to be petty.
Yeah. He also knows that if I won, I would never shut up about it.
I'm doing it for my own self-worth.
He's like, Randy, if I ever go on Survivor and win, the podcast will cease to exist because everyone will unsubscribe because I would just always be like, remember, I won Survivor.
But also, Randy, if me and you were on a season together, I wouldn't let you get to the end. I wouldn't let you get past.
Why not?
You would be voted off before me because I would need the bragging rights.
Ollie, I would take you to the end with me. I'm a loyal player.
Yeah, I know you are. And I'll take you to the final 4 and then go, please go into the jury and vote for me.
That's awful. Use it against me. I can't stand you. Really quick, before we go on to our next segment, by the way, we're just a little over 30 minutes away from showtime. That is insane. We have 150 of you guys in this chat right now and watching wherever you're at. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We appreciate all of you. Keep the chat alive. Keep the comments coming. We love chatting with you guys about Survivor. It's why we're doing this. If you're new to the page, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps get the show out there, the podcast out there. Subscribe to the channel as well. We love all of you guys. We've got some incredible content coming later on. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Kira is watching from Hawaii. I love that. Where's everyone watching from? Do we have anyone at watch parties? Yeah, where's everybody? Yeah, I'm watching by myself at my house. I'm going to make burgers tonight, like burgers and baked beans, the most American food you've ever heard in your life.
So American.
All right, let's get to our next segment. We do have Ollie here from Got Something For You, which means we have to do a very special edition of... The tribe has posted. Ollie, let's go ahead and switch this. Go ahead and tell everyone what the tribe has posted is.
Yeah, so for anyone that does not watch Got Something For You, first of all, you should come join us at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific on Saturdays. We recap the show, myself, Phil, Matthew, and sometimes a special guest. We just go scene by scene, and then we just literally just decide from there what we think's happening. We have a grand old time. But we also have The Tribe Has Posted, where I go through the social medias. I go through Instagram, I go through X, I go through Blue Sky, and I just see what the contestants have been posting to see if it alludes to anything, to see if we can get any kind of hidden tea from stuff. And because it's the finale, Randy asked me to, but we've decided to honor The Tribe Has Spoken. We will be doing it on Saturday anyway, but I'm just going to show you the best of. So for anyone that hasn't watched Got Something For You, I'm going to show you some of the best tweets, Insta stories, whatever, that have been this season.
I will add in, I did the polls. The polls are first on the slides.
Okay,
just to give you a fair warning. I will show, sorry, not to cut you off. I love all the chats of where you're watching from Toronto, Canada. Survivor Nerd watching from Canada. Wes is watching from work in Zoo, Jersey. Do you work at a zoo, or is it?
Yeah, I was going to say
Zoo, Jersey. I love that. Keep them coming.
Well,
guys.
we must know this. So before we get to that, we are going to do then some polls. Randy, do you want to do the polls, or do you want me to do them?
I can bring them up. We can just chat about them here. Yeah.
So our first poll was who loses at Fire tonight, and 50% said Teenie, which I think is surprising because we also do polls on Got Something For You. That's why I inspired this. And we actually had the top 2 vote getters for who was even going to be in Fire. Most people said Rachel, and then after that it was Sam. So
minds change within like a couple days.
Has to be, yeah. So, but yeah, it's very clear that people think Sam and Sue are definitely making the end, though.
This is what I think. I do think Teenie. My initial prediction was Teenie loses at Fire to Sam or Rachel, and I don't know if I ever clarified. I can't remember if I clarified who takes Teenie out at Fire, but I do think it's going to be Sam or Rachel. I still think it's going to be a battle. I don't think knocking out Teenie is going to lock up the win for Sam or Rachel. I think the only way that it locks up the win is if they knock out each other, if that makes sense. So I agree with this poll. I think Teenie is going to be the person who loses at Fire, but I find it interesting that I kind of find this poll interesting that half the people thought Teenie was going to lose at Fire.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And actually, I want to kind of push back to say, I think possibly with Sam, how he words it, and this is what I'm going to be saying for people for the finale, and I always say this, it's how they word things, it's how they make this perception of it. What's the next poll?
The next poll is who do you want to win tonight?
Ooh, and the results.
All right, the next poll. Who are you cheering on tonight? Rachel, 60%. Sam is 40%. And then no one said Sue or Teenie, which breaks my heart. But
they deserve some love.
This has been the overall fan reaction. Has been Sam and Rachel. Any discussion? Who you're rooting on Sam tonight, right?
Yeah, I'm rooting on Sam, but if I had the choice, I would have just been nice and voted for all of them.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm rooting for everyone. Yeah. I do not mind who wins tonight. My night is not gonna be ruined if anyone wins. I will be happy celebrating at the end of the night.
Agreed.
Next up, we got who do you think is going to win? So 60% say Rachel, or they want Rachel to win. 40% want Sam to win. Look at this. No one said Teenie, which has been the overall story this week, unfortunately. 50% Rachel, 33% Sam, and 17% Sue. I love this because I think this really represents what the community has been saying. Rachel's favorite going in. A lot of people think Sam could potentially win. And then a small percentage is like Sue could pull it out. Ollie, what?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I think we've seen it time and time again that, the person that you think is going to win sometimes isn't. I'm kind of agreeing with you. I'm not surprised at the results. I definitely think, obviously, we all know Rachel has been the favorite going in. Yeah, this doesn't surprise me. But again, I'm just excited to see what happens, really.
Yep. And we got one more poll. How are you watching the finale tonight? No one said at Bryson win. There's a couple watch parties tonight. I'll go ahead and take this opportunity to tell you guys on our Instagram at Survivor Now Podcast, the lovely Avery and Matthew are live on our Instagram stories from New York. So head on over there, check out what they got going on. They're doing some incredible stuff. There it is. Pulled it up right there. There's also a watch party happening in LA. CBS is doing something with the cast from the season. I don't know if they're going to post anything about it. I'm like, if you're getting the cast together, at least do like a Instagram live, like reunion show or something. Like they're getting them together for this like unfilmed event so they can just like watch the finale together. And it makes absolutely no sense, but 50% said at home with family, and the other 50 said other, which we said tell us where, and you guys, lovely people in the chat, were telling us exactly where you're watching it from. So I'm going to be watching it tonight in my nice little living room here. See, I have the power to do this literally right over there. The setup is up and ready.
Lovely Christmas tree, by the way.
Thank you. It's going to be me with my turtle, which, see, this is some bonus content now. There he is. So Ollie's like, Randy, why are you showing your turtle? He's like, the podcast was going so great until you started like showing everything. Ollie, what about you, man? When you get to watching it?
I was about to say, I will, because I'm British and I can't watch things live. I shall be watching it tomorrow morning. Once I wake up, I will be in bed with a cup of tea, having a lovely time watching it. So that's when I'll be. And also, I am very intrigued by this. Like, maybe we could be getting a live reunion if they're all there. You never know.
I mean, this is the second season they've done it. We didn't get anything last year. So I'm like, I don't know.
Do you know what? I really hope for 50. Sorry, this is going so off topic. I really hope for 50 they do a live reunion. Really
just start it back up. That's perfect time to do it. Yes.
Exactly.
Or I could see them doing scrapping the On Fire with Jeff Probst podcasts and doing an official, like, they just announced this. Sorry, kind of off topic, but no Deal or No Deal Island. They just announced that Boston Rob is doing an after show for every episode where he sits down with the eliminated contestant. And I'm like, I could see this being something Survivor does. I could see them seeing that and being like, yes, and having like Jeff Probst do an after show with each contestant after every episode. Like I could see it now. I could see it. Okay, Ollie, go ahead and walk us through. The tribe has posted these social media posts. Let us know what we got.
So, for context, these are ones that we posted on Got Something For You, and these are just my opinion, the best kind of social media posts we've seen from the castaways. So the first one is just a little gift from Sam, and this was during Annika's vote off. And obviously the gif is Ti amo, my Andy, which is I love my Andy. Which I thought was so hilarious at the time because I just watched the episode and this was the first tweet that came up on like my ex when I went on there, and I just found it hilarious. Speaking of Sam, we have another one from him. Oh no, it's Annika actually. Sorry, my bad. This Instagram story. This is actually, I will openly admit, this is my favorite. These are my favorite like social media posts from this entire season. Annika showcased that during her elimination episode, there was a Rob Has a Podcast event. All the cast went, and Annika decided to attend her own funeral. And she was literally dressed in black. She had a little veil. And this was everything that was going on. These tweets, and these weren't even all the tweets. Like, sorry, the Instagram stories. These were not all of the stories. There was literally so many more. This was hands down my favorite. I absolutely loved it. I found it hilarious. And I agree, Kara.
Yes. Yes.
Like, especially this with her, like, she decided, do you know what? This would be something I would do because I am that just amazing. I was going to say stupid, but I didn't want to call Annika stupid because she's not. And this is also true. She was actually well liked by the jury post-merge.
It's always going to be like, what could have been?
Yeah. Okay, the next one we have is Tiana. Now, this is where things got a little, in the words of Kenzie, spicy. Because Gabe did do this a couple of times. He did actually post some stuff on his socials about the person that had just been voted off. I believe the week before it was Rome. And then he did it to Tiana, and Tiana clapped back. And this is where I found a lot of respect for Tiana. Well, I already had a lot of love and respect for Tiana, but she was not letting him have it. She was like, no, this is not being your moment. And I love that Tiana was like, keep Hawaii's name out your mouth. This is where this week, I will admit, things got very spicy on social media. But I just loved this thing. Like, Tiana shut it down. Tiana went, no, this is not going any further. Try it. Yes. And then the next one, this I feel like was the first tweet that kind of this is the first post that I feel like really kind of went viral for this season.
I love this.
And I think if no one can tell, this was after Asia's vote off, where people were getting some hate, especially Rome. So Rome decided to just play into it with "Good morning, RHAP community." I will say this, this definitely was the first tweet that really kind of went exploded.
I remember this one. I loved it when it came out.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing this tweet and I was like, this is just getting its own slide. Yes, Kira. Oh, Rome.
I miss him so much.
Rome.
Oh, I can't wait to come on as a guest.
I will say, I agree with this one from Jay. Nothing beats the 46. There wasn't really much Twitter beefing from the cast this season. The main one was kind of that one between Tiana, Gabe, and funny enough, Rome was involved as well. But yeah, this season we still had some amazing content. I believe that's all of them. I don't want to click the next slide in case I'm wrong.
Yes, looks like it. Well, we do have to include, I got to say that, like, the one with what Kinsey posted on social media today was I'm going to pull it up here. Hold on. Hopefully my camera will focus. If you guys didn't see it, she took it off. No, she didn't. It's right here. I thought it was on our stories. I was like, why'd she take it off? It says, "Are you sad to pass the torch to the winner?" And it's her just like throwing the torch. It's incredible. Go check it out. Everyone knows that we love Kinsey. There will be no hate for Kinsey in this chat.
I will fight you.
Yeah, we love Kinsey, but she got some hate from the community after her win. And I don't think Kinsey will be back to play Survivor, but we love her, and that was hilarious. Yes. And yeah, she is doing great. I spoke with her today. She's doing fantastic. So can't bring her down. Okay, one last thing before we start wrapping this up, because I mean, we're getting closer and closer, people, to this premiere. Or why do I keep saying premiere? Finale. I know. I just keep. Yeah. I don't know. I'm a mess. You know what can you get from me at times? Okay. We are Survivor Now, a podcast for the fans, by the fans. This is our I do have to show this. Jay, 22 minutes to go. Yes, we are getting so close. Make sure to join our Patreon. We've got touchy subjects over there. We have a full interview with Coach, the Dragon Slayer. Insane. we could count him as a guest this season. He came on as well.
Yeah.
That should have been my answer of the best guests. He does not do podcasts. He doesn't. And the fact that we got him on was an honor and a blessing. That's over there. I'm trying to think what else. Ollie sat down with Ren and Matthew and talked about the future of Survivor UK. That is over there as well. So go check out all of that. Link is in the description below. There's a couple tiers for you guys. We have merch. I should have been prepared. I am prepared. You can scan this QR code right there. This is something new we're doing on Survivor to help you find our content even easier. The one shirt in the back there is a Survivor 47 Survivor Now crossover exclusive. It says, do you guys remember Rome jumping in the well all the way back there? Then one of the funniest moments from the season. It says, I would jump in a well for Survivor Now. That stuff goes away at the start of next season. So you got to get that while it's up. There's also Christmas, holiday apparel, however you want to look at it. That is available as well on our shop. So scan that code. Go pick up some merch to represent your favorite podcast. Also, you can follow us on social media, on Instagram at Survivor Now Podcast, on X at Survivor Now Pod. We will be on Blue Sky before the end of the year. That is on its way up. I know a lot of people are moving over there. You can also check us out on TikTok at Survivor Now Podcast as well. And then if you're watching this, we got 154 people here. That is incredible. Love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and you can listen to all of our content on Spotify. If you go over to Spotify to watch us, leave us a rating as well. It really helps us get out there. We do have a question here. How do you join Patreon? You click the lovely link down in the description. It says subscribe to our Patreon or join our Patreon. There's 2 tiers. There's the first tier is $3.99 a month, and then the next one up is $5.99 a month. You get more with the $5.99 a month than you do with the $3.99, so it's completely up to you. It is basically a paid service where you get bonus content from us. So if you want even more coverage, Kira, I didn't want to miss this earlier. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Do you guys react to Big Brother as well? We are a Survivor exclusive podcast. We are so busy, Ollie will tell you, with Survivor coverage, especially with next year. We're getting 2 seasons of Survivor Australia.
Yeah.
And then we're getting obviously 2 seasons of Survivor US. There's been talks that we could start covering like Survivor Quebec and stuff like that. So we are just, plus our off-season coverage, we are booked. We got plenty of content. Let's see. What is this?
Sorry, can I just say, I love how you said Survivor Quebec, as I've watched that this year.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, Martin from Survivor Quebec
Yeah.
said that we should cover it. I've told him he should come on and cover it with us. So we just want to bring even more Survivor content to you guys. JB, I really like how Sam helped Andy and Jen in their social anxieties. He really was the glue. Love Rachel as well. It's hers or Sam's, and both are deserving. Yeah, let us know right now, guys. Everyone, 159 people on this stream right now. I want to see the chat light up. Make your official prediction right now as Ollie and I close us out here. Who is going to win this season? I want to hear everyone right now. We'll go through. We'll show all the comments. Ollie. John Lovett, Sierra, Teeny, Asia, Kashan, Annika, Rome, Rachel, Soul, Caroline, Tiana, TK, Sam, Sue, Kyle, Genevieve, Gabe, and Andy. 18 people who have fought this season and have provided an incredible season. Roy, great coverage from you are incredible, Roy. You're one of our, best people. You're always here. Best fans. That's what I was saying. You're always here supporting us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 18 people who changed their lives forever, went out there, provided entertainment for us. We've got 15 minutes until the finale, 15 give or take. What do you want to say about this season overall?
I want to give this season their props because I think last season, Survivor 46, we saw a lot of kind of characters and a lot of this kind of story between them and how everything developed. And I love how we got a complete flip in the sense of we saw so much like dynamic gameplay. And I think every single person, even down to John Lovett, I always just say his name, but you look at the first episode and you see what he did. Each person that has left, you can see the impact they had on the season. I mean, I harp on about it so many times because he's one of my favorite players this season and because he was in my draft. But Keyshawn was mentioned. Keyshawn was fourth out, and he was mentioned in the last 3 episodes. You see Arnica all the time. Like Arnica is mentioned so much. This season, I just think we have seen such a great dynamic within like the cast itself, but also the gameplay has been amazing, top tier. Like Randy, you said at the start of the stream, this potentially for you is a top 10 season. I definitely think this season is a really good one, and I think we said it during the Rites of Passage, which you should go watch if you haven't. But we kind of said like this is a season that people could be introduced to. You want to see how Survivor is played. So many of these players showed you how Survivor can be played, especially in this new era. There's been this like thing going around like, is this truly the best new era season? Sorry.
I think so.
It's up there. It's really up there for me. So yeah, I just want to give them all their props. They are all amazing.
I love
they should all be proud of this season.
I love the shout out that you had for Rites of Passage, because I know some people in the chat, we've had like people from Hawaii. I don't know if it goes live at the same time in Hawaii. I assume not. But like if you're in LA, like if you're out on the West Coast or somewhere where you can't watch it yet and you want more content, definitely recommend going to check out our Rites of Passage. We talk about every single castaway from this season, what they brought to the game, why we enjoyed them or didn't enjoy them. It's a lot of good fun. This season is a top 10 season for me, regardless of the outcome tonight. What you need in a good season, you need a fun and entertaining pre-merge. You need fun and exciting rivalries. You need fun characters out there on the island, fun people playing this game. You need some bitterness, which we got in Annika's elimination. You got when Soul was just trying not to drag Rome across the beach when Rome wouldn't get off his ass. Like, you need that like rivalry. You need that bitterness. You also need a compelling post-merge where there's blind sides, idle plays. You need a season where Jeff from production aren't ruining and controlling the game. Yes, there were elements of that this season, but for the most part, compared to what we've seen in the new era, production took a step back. There wasn't a million idols in the game. Each beach had an idol, essentially. And I think they replanted it, once or twice? Maybe once?
Once.
That was it. We had a couple journeys here and there, but for the most part, this season, they let the players play. And this cast delivered. I think this is one of the best casts we've seen in a minute. I mean, yes, you had your compelling characters that not everyone liked, like a Rome or a Teeny or Gabe, yes. But like, they were still entertaining. This cast brought it. I do think that this is the best of the new era. And I think that the new era, and take this from someone who shit-talked the new era until he was blue in the face. Ollie can let you know, as the person who put together this podcast and stuff like that, I, at one point, said Survivor's dead. This was back in like season 43, 44. Did I not say it? I was like, this is awful. I was ready to give up. But obviously, I'm like, I still love Survivor. I'm still going to watch it. They have figured out the new era. They have figured it out. Like it or not, 41,
they have.
In my opinion, 41 was not good. 42 wasn't my favorite. 43, obviously, people didn't like the winner, but I thought was a pretty good season. 44 was terrific. 45 was even better. 46 was incredible. And now 47 has just continued to take it, a step in the right direction. This was a great season. I think it's going to be a must-watch season on Paramount Plus. They just released that earlier on in the year where there was like 10 must-watch seasons. I think this is a must-watch season. This is a season that if someone today said, hey, I want to get into Survivor, you might as well just watch the latest season because it was really good. Let me show these comments before we
officially say
goodbye.
I think it starts with Kyla.
Where's that at?
Yep. Rachel.
You want to show them? Take it away, Ollie.
Yeah. So you've got J.E. Rachel beat Sam in a tie with Teeny.
That would be so fun. That would be
got another Rachel here. You've got Kira Rachel, as long as she's not next to Sam and Fire.
Ooh.
Mama Duke, Rachel for the win in a season filled with strong and talented women. Which, yes. Nuff still says beats all the finalists. JB, Sam, you've got the late things for Sam here. So it truly is anyone's game. And also, thank you, Robin Green. Appreciate you too.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we have so many comments. I'll show just a couple. Jay, 47 is the best season of the new era so far, in my opinion. Survivor 48 has a lot to work to do to match or beat 47. We said the same thing about 47 and 46, though. The Coley, Rachel reminds me a ton of Carson from 44. I think she'll go out in fire. Kira adds in from Hawaii. She's 2 hours later. Yeah, definitely pop over and check out our rites of passage. Let me get a few. You guys have been amazing in this chat. Kyler, absolutely. Even the people I didn't necessarily like were compelling television and completely understand why they made it into the show. You have a wonderful night, Kira. Thank you for joining us. And then Jay, and yes, agree, Randy, the new era started finding its groove around 45. Can't wait for 48. We are set for an incredible finale, 10 minutes out. The last thing I'll say, just to remind you guys, some of the stuff that could happen tonight. If Sue wins, she will be the oldest Survivor winner ever. If Rachel wins, she will be the second player ever to play a no-hitter. Jeremy Collins was the only other person to do that. Sweep the jury, receive votes just to negate them. She would have never had a vote against her that actually counted in the game. And Sam has played a compelling game and has every chance to beat Rachel. And don't be mad, don't get angry if Teeny wins, because Teeny has played a strong social game and has a lot of friends on the jury as well.
Teeny will also be the first non-binary winner.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ollie. I knew I was going to forget something. Teeny would be the first non-binary winner if they win Survivor as well. There's a lot on the line tonight. Yeah. A lot. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys for being here. Ollie and I will catch you on the flip side. Thanks for being